And welcome to The Heartbeat, a hometown media Stellar production brought to you by Solution Corp. On today's show, the Imperials senior hockey team will play for the Ralph Weist Memorial Trophy starting March 14th. Fans weren't allowed at a recent U18 hockey game in Stettler, and an Alberta independence rally was held at the community hall a couple of days ago. The Stettler Imperials have been a fun team to watch this year. They've had explosive offenses. The goaltending has been stellar, and they have only lost twice. They swept the first two series in the playoffs, first Delburn, then Provost, and we start the episode with our first guest for the first time on the Heartbeat. Welcome, Adam Turnus, the captain of the Imperials. How's the day going?
Good. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be on the show.
Yeah, first guest of the show, so that's exciting for us, too, to get the ball rolling, to have the community members involved in our program.
Absolutely.
So, Wainwright, what do you expect from this upcoming series?
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit different than the Provo series where, Wainwright's a bit a heavier team, and that's kind of the style of game they play. So, obviously, we're a bit faster and smaller, but we're looking for a hard-fought series, and it's going to be competitive. That's all we know. So looking forward to it.
Now, has the high offensive output, can you contribute that to any specific system, or is it just the guys that you have on the ice, like the Rosts and Cassidy and those guys? And
Houston.
Yeah. I was going to say his name's eluding me, but Dylan
Houston.
Dylan Houston. He had the most points.
Yes, he did.
In
MVP.
The entire league this year. So he won that trophy and the MVP.
Yes, he did.
So congrats to him again.
Yeah.
But, what could you say to the offensive output from the team? Yeah,
it's been consistent all year. And I don't think there's anything specific about what we're doing or the style of play that we're playing at. I think it's, the speed that we have through the entire lineup. I think we're the fastest team in the league, and that's where a lot of our offense comes from. And aside from that, we want to compete and battle, and I think that's where a lot of offense is generated from as well. So nothing specific. I think just kind of the speed we play with is kind of the biggest factor.
Was there a team that you were hoping to play, like when it was Wainwright and Irma, were you kind of like, we kind of want this team to play in the finals, or was it, did you have any feelings either way?
I don't think so. I think we played Irma the last few years in the playoffs, and we've beaten them. Like, they've been good series. So it's kind of nice to play someone new, something different. Wainwright's, this is their second year in the league. Nice arena, and like I said, they have a good team, so it's going to be competitive. So not specifically, I think we were just hoping they were going to go 4 or 5 games and battle each other out for that reason.
Yeah, I get a little tired.
Yeah, I get a little tired.
Again, you guys have swept both series, so you've had some time off to recover. And
we have.
Have there been any guys like banged up that have needed to recover?
There has been. Obviously, in the first series, Rhett Shingusi.
Yeah,
that was tough. He blew out his knee. And then recently, it looks like maybe Eric Ross he's banged up pretty good from a hit against Provost.
Yeah, I remember that one.
So that was a big hit. So we'll see what happens there. So there's a couple banged up bodies, but like I said, we got a lot of guys that can jump in and contribute to the team.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's going to be a good series. We were hoping Wainwright, just because it's such a big community. Yeah. They do a live stream, we do a live stream, so it's going to have lots of viewership from both sides.
Yep.
Lots of Stettler people are going to be watching the Wainwright streams and vice versa.
Yep.
So we're definitely looking forward to that. And we would like to, at some point, they stream their games at Wainwright, but we'd love to make the road trip down there. If the
awesome.
cup's on the line, like if your guys are in Wainwright looking to win the cup, we'd like to. The cup's in the building. We'd like to come down and take some pictures and do a story. So hopefully we can make that work. Were you kind of glad it wasn't Sedgwick?
Well, honestly, again, like we're so confident this year that we didn't really care. But
fair enough.
Like they've been a pain in the rear end for the last couple of years for us. They got a good team, so I mean we're happy to play someone different. Yeah. Provost was a really good team as well, but we played them differently. So. I'm not going to say yes or no there, but it's nice to not have to play them in the playoffs this year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you guys, you've been with the Imperials since their second
year
season.
Yeah, you bet.
How long have you been the captain for?
So this would be my second season as a captain.
Yeah. What does being a good captain for the Imperials mean to you?
You can answer this a lot of different ways, but I think just with how tight this community is and how much they care for the team, I think, presenting yourself as an ambassador for the community is huge and maybe doesn't get talked about enough. It's not just about the hockey side. Those events that go on outside of the rink, saying yes to those things, showing up and doing all that stuff, I think is a huge factor in taking on the role as captain for Stettler. And then it's just being there for all the guys. There's a lot of young guys on our team and that are playing senior hockey for the first time, or it's a different league in that sense. So I think just being, all ears for the young guys, and I think just really trying to be the best version of yourself every day is what it's about.
And what do you like about the East Central Senior Hockey League?
It's competitive. Like there's a bit of parity, but again, like from top to bottom, it's a competitive game each and every night. You see that in the playoffs. Like, of course, we swept the first 2 series, but they've been tight games. There's overtime game against Provost, so it doesn't really matter who you play. You're going to get a good game. And I think that's what's been most fun about this league so far.
Yeah, we've definitely had a really good time broadcasting all the games there, because generally pretty competitive games. You guys have had some lopsided wins this year.
Yeah, we have. We're like I said, we're confident this year, but
not complaining about that.
No.
But no, it's usually pretty tight, and it's good hockey. And the guys that the comments I've heard from people that have watched the streams, and then go to the game, similar to the comments you hear from like people that watch the NHL games and then go to the game actually live. They're like, it's a lot faster than it looks like
That's
on the
funny
stream.
We had someone say that the other day. It's actually like a player that was injured.
Okay.
And it was kind of like he's just watching basically on ice level. And he's like, it's crazy how fast it is like when you're actually at the game.
Yeah.
So I think that's another thing that people kind of, if you get on the ice there, it's pretty quick. It's quicker than you think than the streams maybe that they show. So
yeah, no, it's a fun league, and we've been happy to do it every year that the Imperials have been around for. But we haven't seen a championship yet.
Yes.
So go get it, Adam.
Absolutely. This year.
Just quickly, other than, having the best season so far to date for the Imperials, what are some other highlights from the season from you? Anything that sticks out?
There wasn't a whole lot of turnover from our team last year, but the guys that did show up are good hockey players. And I think they just it's just been a seamless transition. Yeah. There's everyone shows up to want to play hockey and win. And so I think just the team camaraderie this year has been on another level, which has contributed to the success. And aside from that, there's been all those events like the night before, right? Huge event that everyone shows up for, the town shows up for. Those are always fun games to play. And then the first 6 games of the playoffs, we've had tons of support, and the rink's packed. That gets us pumped up to play. So I think just the community support that we've seen this year has been amazing, and always what we're looking forward to.
And I'm sure we can expect a pretty jam-packed rec center for the championship series, because I'm sure the local crowd's always pretty big. Yeah. But people are going to be traveling from Wainwright 100%. Too. They'll probably be taking the bus down here.
The party bus. Yeah.
So I'm sure the Blue Arena at the rec center here will be jam-packed the way it should be. So make sure to head there for game 1 on March 14th. And then the Imperials are in Wainwright on March 15th. So a Saturday, Sunday schedule. So make sure to head to the rec center, check that out for some East Central Senior Hockey League Championship action. And if you can't make it to the game, obviously we'll be live streaming it on our Hometown Media Stettler YouTube channel.
Awesome.
All right, Adam, thanks for being the first guest on the show.
I'm happy to do it. Thanks, Alex. Thanks for having me.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Of course. Have a good day.
You too.
All right, Landon, you can let this fella out. And while we do that, I will talk about some other success stories that have happened for local hockey teams here in Stettler. As the U13B Stettler Storm, they won the U13 Tier 4 Championship. The U11F Stettler Storm, they won the U11B Banner Champions. U11B Stettler Storm, they won their Banner Championship. And the U13C Yellow Stettler Storm, they also won their Banner Championship. So I wonder if I gave Josh just enough time to get all of those graphics up on the screen. So congrats to the local hockey players there. Now we got Landon back in the studio.
How's it going?
Hey, good. Yeah, no, it was awesome to talk to Adam about the upcoming Imperials Championship Series with Wainwright. We're obviously looking forward to that because we live stream all of the games. And so Stettler has kind of had Wainwright's number, though, for the season.
Yeah, both stopping them to 2 goals in both games there at home and on the road. And I do like that you asked Adam about just what it means to be a captain there for the Imperials. That was a really good answer from him.
I think they do have a really good dressing room. I think they all work really well together. And I think that they are going into the championship series on a high note, obviously, as they swept the first two series. Can't really get much higher than that. So that's going to be a lot of fun. On a more serious note, in the hockey world, in Stettler, parents and fans of any sort were banned from a recent U18 hockey game in Stettler. Landon, what's that story all about?
Yeah, so that decision came after a pretty highly contentious game over in Consort on March 1st. That was the 3C Coyotes and the U18B Storm. Basically, the Coyotes took a 7-6 win, and it got pretty contentious in the stands between fans, parents, the players, and all that. So just as a preemptive measure, anytime that something like this happens, you do see that the following game will be held behind closed doors just to avoid league suspensions. Because, of course, if something like this happened again at a game, that's what we'd be looking at. So
yeah. Should the parents be wearing hockey equipment, too, if they're getting into it? Like
they might be serving a couple minutes in the box.
Yeah, unsportsmanlike, for sure, I would say. But I don't know the details on that, but it's kind of too bad when you hear these things that parents get so riled up that the league has to shut it down and say no one's allowed in the rink.
Hockey's a passionate game.
It is a passionate game, for sure.
But no, it's at the end of the day, it is just a game.
Yeah.
And I think we got to remember that sometimes. But, ooh, do we take it serious?
Yeah. And, it reminds me of some things like, in Europe with soccer and how they segregate the fans so they don't kill each other. Maybe they should do that at the minor hockey games. Consort, you're over here. Stettler, you're over here. Do not move past this line.
Oh, those poor arena staff.
Exactly. Hey, we got some good tape that we use to divide our little broadcast booth at the Imperials games. Just use that.
Yeah, give them the tape.
Yeah, give them the tape. You're on this side of the pink tape. You're on this side of the pink tape. Do not move. But I was kind of surprised to hear that this happens. I was actually unaware that they would do this. I thought maybe they would, not let specific parents in, but like the whole crowd was not allowed to go in.
No, and I did reach out to the minor hockey president just to see what was going on there, and he said that it was just basically due to the heightened tensions with the both teams and the spectators. They just didn't want to exacerbate the situation.
Right.
So, but like you said, passionate game.
They are passionate. There's no doubt about it. You are listening and watching The Heartbeat with Alex and Landon. Landon, now you have some notes from Town Council and County Council.
Yeah, so just recently this last week here, the Stettler County, they held their Community Service Awards. That's where they honor their volunteers. And the news out of there this year was they renamed the Stettler Dodge Community Award in honor of the late Bernie Jackson there. So.
That was a great thing to hear, because Bernie was such a big part of the community. So it seems only fitting to have an award named after her.
Yeah, and the first winner of that renamed award was Kim Smythe. Of course, she was celebrated for her community work efforts in helping establish the lacrosse league here in Stettler, and as well as her work as a school trustee and other efforts. So.
Yeah, I actually did a video with her many moons ago, a few years ago.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, on lacrosse and the local lacrosse scene and how she got into it and started the league and everything like that. So
good stuff.
Yeah, maybe not started the league, but at least got, it up and running and got people interested in the sport here in Stettler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and when I was doing that video, she put the pads on me to play goalie and was firing shots at me. And that day, I threw out my back entirely.
I was going to say, you're probably a little sore after that, eh?
More than sore. Like, I couldn't get in my car.
Oof.
Like, it was bad. Yeah. Like, I was already kind of hurting a little bit from, I don't know, golf or something the day before. And she was like, yeah, put on all this equipment. It's not her fault by any means or stretch, but I probably should have been like, maybe not the best idea to put on all this heavy equipment and take shots. But I was like, it's a good video. It'll be good for the video. Took a shot, made the save, or maybe I didn't. I don't remember. I got back up, and my back was just like, nope.
Never think of that in the moment.
Anyway, took 2 or 3 weeks to get back to normal.
But yeah, nominations for the county's volunteer recognition event, if you know anybody, those open every January, and the 2027 awards, they're going to be held at the Donalda Community Hall.
Yeah. So, no, that's great. Other things that are kind of happening in town council and like in that sphere, there was the Big Valley fire recently. We talked about it on the last show. What did they kind of learn? Did they chat about that at county council? And like, because this is kind of new and all of that?
Yeah, so there was an update to council as well this week on the Big Valley fire 2 weeks ago. That was the first major test for the county's new Heartland Regional Fire Department. They noted all 4 stations assisted with the fire, as well as the neighboring Elnora department. The one issue was that they weren't able to connect to the fire hydrants in Big Valley. There wasn't enough water pressure, so water actually had to be trucked in from the county shop and the nearby truck fills. So the county staff just spoke about working with the village of Big Valley on that hydrant issue, and then perhaps looking at upgrading the water fill at the county shop just to be able to fill trucks faster.
Gotcha. Are they going to have to replace the hydrants or just like find a different mode of getting water to these areas?
You'd be probably looking at water system upgrades, but again, you do have a council for the village of Big Valley, so it's the 2 municipalities working together on that.
Yeah, okay.
But again, yeah, sad loss for the families in Big Valley. I mean, where you get your daily goods, and the RCMP again have said it's under investigation.
Yeah, so. And no updates from them as of yet.
Not yet, no.
There is a new artifact at the museum that's pretty cool if you follow the Cook murder cases.
Yeah, the Robert Raymond Cook case. The museum was also at town council just for their budget, but they noted that they did get a new artifact. The window from the Ponoka Hospital that he allegedly escaped from in 1959. So, key piece of evidence from the quite famous case, which resulted in the last man hanged in Alberta.
Yeah, I know a lot of people in this community are interested in that case, you know, whether he's innocent or he's guilty. I mean, he was found guilty, and the last man hanged in Alberta, correct?
Yes, no, it's always been a circumstantial case because of the way the evidence was processed, the era that this happened in, of course, before DNA and that. So it's been a very fascinating cold case. Or not cold case, I should say, but case of that type.
Yeah. And there's some good documentaries and videos and stuff out there, and I know a lot of people are quite interested in that case, as they should be, because it's not only to Stettler, but like it's an interesting case overall. So that'll be a cool artifact to have, and that'll be at the museum to check out. Also, you were on the move this week. You were doing a lot this week.
Yeah, some weeks are like that.
Yeah, I guess that's what happens when you're doing the news in a community. But you were at Coffee with a Cop. What kind of issues were brought up there?
Yeah, so that was kind of an informal opportunity that was on Tuesday night for residents to meet police officers, ask questions. There was also County Protective Services on hand, as well as Fish and Wildlife, to explain their roles in policing. The session started with a presentation on SEPTED. That's an acronym to describe crime-proofing your property. So things like effectively using security cameras and lighting, designing clear entrances, keeping your building well-maintained to discourage vandalism, that kind of thing. Good Q&A session from the public, too, on what police are seeing on the streets these days. I asked about how often police are encountering addiction problems on the daily basis, and Staff Sergeant confirmed it takes a lot of their time. Whether it's through petty theft, paperwork, what have you, just dealing with, choices people make through addiction, whether it's trying to get drugs, that kind of thing. So they also did speak to a catch and release cycle that we're all seeing in our justice system. Minor offenses are sometimes being let off due to a shortage of Crown prosecutors, and they may need to focus their time on serious offenses, but, that leaves folks feeling pretty helpless about property crime. So... And, that's something the RC's acknowledged, too, that, they are hearing that frustration from the public. But, about 35, 40 people came out. I was impressed with the numbers, and I'd like to see it happen about once a year. I think would be good to see for that kind of thing, because it was a good opportunity to, like you said, ask questions of our local police. So.
Yeah, at least have that conversation, right? And bring up your issues or what you think is being done well, or just to simply have a conversation with a police officer. So that's good for the community for sure. Some other community events coming up. The first annual prayer breakfast is on March 19th from 8 a.m. to 9:30. It's a fundraiser for the Stettler Crisis Aid Club, and it's at the hub at the rec center. Crisis Aid Fund, I should say. The Employment Fair is on March 24th, hosted by the Stettler Regional Board of Trade. It's at the Stettler Community Hall. Sunny Bees Candles and Teas Workshop fundraiser. It's a evening fundraiser to help raise funds for upcoming renovations at Botha Community Hall. That's on March 23rd from 7 to 9 p.m. RSVP soon if you want to go to that. And then there's an evening with Jenny Ogilvie, Canada's unconventional medium, at the Stettler Legion on March 27th. If you have an event that you would like to have included on the podcast, please contact info@htproductionsmedia.ca, or you can always drop by the office and bring us a poster. So again, you were on the move this week, covering all sorts of different things. And to wrap up the show today, we will touch on the Alberta Separatist rally at the Community Hall that was on March 6th. People were there to gather, air their grievances, sign the petition, and again, they need 177,732 signatures for the province to consider a referendum.
Yeah, so again, this was Friday. Actually had to race from there to the hockey game.
Yeah,
so it was
small town news, eh? Race from the community hall to the senior hockey game. Yeah.
No, and again,
gotta love it.
I do wish I could have stayed at the Independence rally longer, but of course we had a broadcast.
Yep.
But no, it was they're trying to get 10% of the electorate that voted in the 2021 provincial election to sign the petition calling for Alberta to become an independent state. It was a good chance to get out and talk with these folks. Again, that's the media's job. There are some real grievances with the feds, and they go back generations. Resource rights, taxation, population versus representation. You know, and I think that the anger that we're seeing come down. We heard Quebec negotiate separation for 20 plus years. And now that Alberta threatens to, we're being told to sit down. So I do see some of the grievances people are having. And yes, the rules have changed since 1995. You need to have 7 of 10 provinces with 50% of the population to open this door. And if the signatures are met, we'll see where we go from there. But no, it was a real good chance. Had a chance to talk to Chris Scott. Of course, many of you may know from his story during the pandemic there. But no, did just want to play a clip from talking to Chris there.
Mm-hmm. We see people in Alberta and actually in other parts of the country talking down to people with a different political opinion, trying to cancel them, in some cases like threatening their lives. That's been happening more and more these days. So we have to get back to a point where we can have these discussions and do them openly without fear of some sort of reprisal from people who don't want conversation. Because as my friend Charlie pointed out very eloquently before he was murdered, when we stop talking, bad things happen. So I just want to make sure that Alberta keeps talking.
Go ahead.
So again, like you said, some of those grievances we tried to address in our video. If you haven't seen it yet, it's over on our YouTube channel. Again, is Alberta ready for independence? And yeah, like I said, good opportunity to get a chance and chat with some of these folks about their grievances. So.
Absolutely. So the question is, do you agree that the province of Alberta should cease to be a part of Canada and become an independent state? So it will be interesting to see if they get the signatures required to, potentially have a referendum. Now, is it, if they get the amount of signatures that they want, will a referendum be held no matter what? Or is this something that has to go to the provincial government for them to talk about and then do? Or, like, what are the logistics behind that?
This is the next step here, and we already have a provincial referendum called for October 19th.
Right.
So did Smith do this to get ahead of this? Mm-hmm. We also have the Forever Canadian petition. This is another petition going forward to try to convince people to remain in Canada. So there's many different levels at play here.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, and every podcast going forward, I'm sure we'll have a little bit more information
Yes,
to talk
and,
about.
They also did put out word today. They do have 2 signing locations here in Stettler today if you didn't get a chance to make it out on Friday. So
Yeah, if that's the direction that you're going, then there's places to sign that petition. So once again, we have the video of the event that Landin covered on our Hometown Media Stettler YouTube channel. The video is already garnering a lot of views, as we thought it would, as it's an interesting topic, and a lot of people they have emotions tied to this and care quite a bit. So it's good to see that people are going to our YouTube channel to check it out. That will do it, I think, for the Heartbeat for this March 12th. I do have one question, though, that I forgot to ask Adam when he was in. Where's Nitro?
it is a good question. I've wondered that myself. I think we saw him the first game of the
think so.
season,
Yeah.
but I don't think we've seen him since.
If you don't know Nitro, he's the night mascot that they have for the Imperials.
I bet he got a tear in his pants.
Just, it's been taking a while to get sewed up. It's taken a whole season, Nitro. But yeah, we'd love to see that mascot back again.
He's a good mascot.
Even again, if it's selfish, because we want to get those shots on our live stream of him dancing and like hanging out with the kids and everything like that. But it was great to have the mascot at Imperials games. So next time we talk to someone, we'll have to ask where Nitro is. Thanks for watching our podcast and listening to our podcast. If you are tuned in on Spotify, make sure to visit hometownmediastettler.ca for more on these stories. And again, whether it's on YouTube or on Spotify, make sure to follow us or subscribe on YouTube. And I'm Alex Mykyta. This is Landin Chambers. We love bringing you local news and local sports coverage. This has been The Heartbeat, brought to you by Solution Corp, and we'll see you at the game on Saturday. Have a great day.